This is my first holiday season where we actually live in February. Since I've been here, and it's just so wonderful.
Turn Terry's microphone on, please. Thank you.
It was on. Maybe I'll move over this way a little bit, then we can double dip. Sorry. Anyway, I was waxing eloquent about the fact that it's wonderful, my third holiday season here, to finally be back in the sanctuary. And Anne has already started putting some ornaments on the tree, but during social hour, if you would like to put some ornaments on the tree in Drysdale, feel free. Enjoy the season. We're glad you're here this morning. Whoever you are, whatever your beliefs, whatever your age, and whomever you love, you are welcome here. As we work together for justice, compassion, and peace, we humbly acknowledge that our buildings sit on Monacan land. I'm Terry Bailiff. I'm the professional minister of this congregation, but I share the ministry with all our members and friends. If you're here with us for the first time, we're glad you chose to be here this morning to participate in this service. If you would like to receive our monthly newsletter and Friday email updates, please fill out the virtual visitor card if you're on Zoom, or you can find a visitor card in the pocket of the seat in front of you. This morning, we are very pleased to welcome a special guest, Chris Schabister, who's director of Meals on Wheels in Lynchburg, and she will be our Generosity Sunday guest, and we'll meet her later in the service. Please take note of the announcements in the bulletin, and if you're on Zoom, you can find those announcements in the Friday news. So, this is such an exciting day. We have a float in the Christmas parade at 4, and Courtney's daughter, Nora, has a stomach bug, so Courtney's not here. So all those kind people, and she didn't bring this for her today, which is good, because I got that Christmas bug from my granddaughter a couple of weeks ago. So if you have time to help finish our float at the stadium at 2, our float will be there. Bob Morris and Sam worked very hard on getting the heavy basics done. So if you want more information and can help, please see me after the service. So I invite you to come next Saturday at noon, which is our turn to provide music for the tour of the downtown churches. The synagogue has asked if they can have a table here, and of course, we said yes. So join us. Emily will be playing. Yay! So that'll be a great way to get to know our neighbors in downtown Lynchburg. So now I invite us just to take a moment to breathe, to set our cares about the world and our lives outside this door, to be grounded and centered, to be together with our community that cares for us and supports us. As we enter our time of worship, we light our chalice, sharing these words. May the light we now kindle inspire us to use our powers to heal and not to harm, to help and not to hinder, to bless and not to curse, to serve you, O Spirit of life. I invite us to rise in body or spirit to share hymn number 39, Bring, O Morn, Thy Music. those young at heart to come join me up here.
Terry, would you check the connections on your microphone?
What?
Would you check the connections
Yeah,
on your
the
microphone?
microphone.
It's out again.
Yeah. I mean, we can hear
My
you. It's just,
battery is giving
there we go.
out. But we'll worry about that later because I've got this wonderful microphone. Thank y'all for joining me. I'll just use the other one the rest of the service.
Hey,
Thank you.
I went. I went into that skate place.
You did?
Yeah, but I had sometimes it had a nice flip sign on
Yeah.
playground.
Okay, well, you know,
And
I want to,
This is running with
yeah,
this guy.
And-
And I can rise
yeah.
Yeah.
I want to tell you about a story that I really like, and then we're going to share a book. How about that? Okay, you want to know my very favorite book when I was your age and a little older? Horton Hears a Who. Have y'all read that? No. Have y'all read that? Okay.
But today is Christmas.
Yeah. So let me tell you about this book. It's about this elephant with really huge ears. And he can hear things that no one else in the jungle can hear. And one day he's walking through the jungle and he hears the tiniest little cry of help, help. And he looked around and there was nobody there. And then he realized that the help was coming from this little dust mote that was floating through the sky. Have y'all ever seen dust motes floating through the sky?
I've seen that movie.
You have. You've seen Horton Hears a Who movie? That's a great one. Well, but you know what?
For bad guys, face with something to wear.
Ah, okay. Well, you know what? I'm going to tell you the end of the story because I want to share a special book with you. So if you haven't seen, just looking up, if you haven't seen a dust mote or maybe a seed of a dandelion floating in the sky, look for those. But Horton had, yeah, we're not going to hit that anymore, but thank you for letting me know that that makes such a good sound. If we have a drum choir, you can use that as a drum. So that was really smart of you to figure that out. So anyway, people didn't believe that on this little dust mote, there was a whole world of people. And when I was your age, I thought, what if our world is just a little speck in somebody else's giant world? And later, I learned about all the amazing stars and wonderful things that you can see at night. Have y'all ever been outside and maybe sat and lay down in the grass and look up? And what did you see?
Lots of stars.
Lots of stars.
In different constellations of the moon.
Fabulous constellations and the moon. It's really wonderful. And we're learning more and more about what's out there in the world. But today, I want to share with you a book about a man when he was about your age, fell in love with the stars. Yeah, some of them look that big. So, David, can you help us see this special book?
I certainly can.
Hey y'all. We'll be reading Star Stuff, Carl Sagan and the Mysteries of the Cosmos by Stephanie Roth Sisson. I hope this inspires you to shoot for the stars. Have a great weekend. Star Stuff, Carl Sagan and the Mysteries of the Cosmos by Stephanie Roth Sisson. Imagination will often carry us to worlds that never were, but without it, we go nowhere. Carl Sagan. In the Milky Way galaxy, our sun, in a neighborhood of stars, on the third planet from our sun, in a big city, in a small apartment, lived a boy named Carl. Carl was curious about everything. He found the world around him astonishing. His imagination took him out of his neighborhood. Announcing the 1939 World's Fair. Come see the world of tomorrow. The World's Fair was like nothing Carl had ever seen before. There was a mechanical man, wowee, and a time capsule filled with messages to the future. Carl thought about the stars, hanging down like light bulbs on long black wires. What are they? In the morning, he set out to discover the answer. A book on stars, please. It was the wrong book. When she came back with the right book, Carl's heart beat faster with every page he turned. Our sun is a big ball of fiery gas held together by gravity. 9 planets, including Earth, orbit around it in our solar system. Each star is a sun. If you traveled into space for many years and then looked back at our sun, it would look dim like a star. Wowee. Carl read that many scientists suspected that other stars have planets circling them too. Carl was curious. He imagined what he would find if he could travel to the stars. He read stories written by people who imagined what life might be like on other planets. His favorite character, John Carter, could stand with his arms outstretched and wish himself to Mars. But nothing happened. Carl set out to learn more. He studied life and space and became Dr. Carl Sagan. Carl longed to know what other planets were really like. He worked with other scientists to send mechanical explorers to investigate the planets close to us. They took pictures and gathered data and sent them back to Earth. It gave Carl goosebumps to think about what he had learned about the stars, planets, and the beginnings of life. He wanted everyone to understand so that they could feel like a part of the stars as he did. So he went on television. The very matter that makes us up was generated long ago and far away in red giant stars. Wowee. The Earth and everything living are made up of star stuff. The stars made the ingredients of life. Could those ingredients have resulted in life elsewhere too? Carl and his fellow scientists got ready to launch the Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 spacecraft on a grand tour of the outer solar system to gather more pictures and data. After that, they would be bound for the stars. A marvelous idea gripped Carl. A message from our world could be attached to each spaceship like a time capsule and taken beyond our stars. We thought it would be impolite not to say hello. The twin Voyagers rocketed to space carrying their friendly greeting. They traveled through our solar system and continued farther than any other spaceships have gone before. A curious man made of star stuff launched a spacecraft on an adventure to explore beyond our neighborhood of planets. As the Voyagers continue their journey into interstellar space, they are carried by the imagination of a boy named Carl. Wowee. The end.
And what we know is that each of us is made from star stuff. Everybody here. Because everything is connected. The stars are connected to us. We're connected to each other and the world. So I'd like for y'all to think about that as we sing you to your class. It's such a gift to be alive, to have the ability to search the cosmos and to search within to understand who we are and whose we are. Part of our search for meaning is to understand where we belong in the world and how we are connected with the interdependent web of creation. The Reverend Joan Javier Duval wrote, "Out of depths unknown, the spark of life ignites and we are born. We enter a world, a universe, not of our making. Our lives unfold in mystery and wonder. Questions abound for which there are no definite answers. And so we gather in community to seek in one another assurance and recognition, compassion and strength. We gather in community to be reminded of what is most ultimate and what is most sacred. In the spirit of searching and of reverence, let us worship together today." It's such a pleasure this morning to have Chris Shabastar with us today to tell us a little bit about Meals on Wheels of Greater Lynchburg. And thank you for being here. If you'd like to come on, I know that this is a time of year when there's so much need. So thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for inviting me. And thank you so much for your support of Meals on Wheels for so many years through your volunteerism, your financial support, and your advocacy. It has meant a great deal to our organization and the people in our community because we are entirely community supported. I mean, I really feel that is what Meals on Wheels is really all about. For 48 years, we have been here meeting the needs of this community without federal funding, just doing what it takes to meet the needs of people of all ages and all incomes. Currently, we're serving people as young as 26 and as old as 102. 5 days a week, our volunteers are delivering close to 550 meals, about 11,000 meals a month. And that is more than we've ever served before. Pre-pandemic, we were serving about 350 people. We had about 350 active recipients, and now we're close to 600. And that is because this community stepped up to help. And I can never brag enough about this community that we live in enough, because that is what made it happen. We served people for a couple days. A little while ago, we got a call from this woman who was really in a panic, and she said, "I've been taking care of my mother-in-law. but my mother just fell and I need to get on a plane and fly to California. And I just need someone to bring in a meal and make sure that someone's checking on her, and I'll figure out something. And the next day we had a meal brought to her mother-in-law and someone to make sure that she was safe, and no questions, no paperwork, no fees, and she didn't have to worry about it. And another woman we've served for over 20 years. In her 40s, she started developing seizures, and it really wasn't safe for her to stand at a stove. And, we've been there all that time. And, the reasons people need Meals on Wheels vary. And I love that I can live in a very gray world. It's common sense that we live by. And that just makes me incredibly happy. I don't have to have check boxes and bureaucracy. It is common sense and reality, because that is the world that I like to live in. So, and the reason we can do that is because congregations like you all support us in the ways that you do. And so I very much appreciate your financial supports and your volunteerism. We very much need that. People can volunteer 1 day a week, twice a month, but we really need substitute drivers. You could say, I'm available. You can call our office and say, I'm available to volunteer on Friday. Or in 2 weeks, I could volunteer Monday or Tuesday. Do you have any openings? Or we also really need advocates. If you know of someone, perhaps your business would be available to take a route once a month, and you can alternate between people in your organization. It's a great way to team build. Or you're involved with a civic or social group, please encourage people to get involved. Or if you have a neighbor who's embarrassed to call, there's lots of ways that you can help support us. So I would appreciate any way that you can support us: financial, volunteerism, advocate. It all has a tremendous impact on our organization. And it is because of that type of support that we've been able to be here as long as we have. And I appreciate everything that you can do. Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me today.
Thank you. And I'm very aware of the sort of shocking increase between last year and this year. And so certainly this is the season when people are and organizations are greatly in need.
Oh, I forgot one thing. I'm sorry. There's a small typo in the bulletin. It's mealslynchburg.org to get more information about volunteering or donation.
mealslynchburg.org. Okay, great. Sorry about the typo. So today we take an offering of our gifts for the work of our congregation and organization like Meals on Wheels. And while we definitely depend on volunteerism, everybody's gifts of time and talent, the reality is that we're the ones that create and sustain our community. And so I invite you to give generously this morning, both to our congregation if you're writing a check and would like your donation to go to Meals on Wheels, please put that in the memo. So let us take an offering of our gifts. It is the tradition of our community that we share together our joys and concerns. The wonder of being part of this interconnected web of existence that reaches out farther than our human minds can comprehend. We hold up today all those who are suffering in mind, body, or spirit, that they may find healing and wholeness. In this season of lights, celebrating sacred times in so many of the world's religious traditions, may we find ways to connect, to find the common threads of love and light and peace that we all need so profoundly. We hold up today also the blessing of community, that we may support one another in good times and challenging times. And may we embody what it means to live love in the world. This we ask in the name of all that is sacred. Amen. One of the wonders of being alive today is having the opportunity to know our place within the cosmos. So today we begin an exploration of wonder, beginning with the wonder of being human in the midst of this wondrous, miraculous world in which we are privileged to live. Mary Oliver wrote, "Truly, we live with mysteries too marvelous to be understood. How grass can be nourishing in the mouths of the lambs. How rivers and stones are forever in allegiance with gravity, while we ourselves dream of rising. How two hands touch and the bonds will never be broken. How people come from delight or the scars of damage to the comfort of a poem. Let me keep my distance always from those who think they have the answers. Let me keep company always with those who say, 'Look,' and laugh in astonishment and bow their heads. We walk the world in wonder, aware of the miraculous complexity of the human body we inhabit, as well as the wonders of the earth. We are considered the apex of life on earth, though some of us would question that. And yet, as we learn more, we realize how small we are in relation to creation, to the cosmos. Precious as we are on this firmament of earth, if we step away from earth, we realize that not one of us could be found if we look at earth from space. So here we are living in a paradox, both considered the apex on earth and in the grandeur of the cosmos, not even a dot. This morning, let us explore with great humility the wonder of being such an insignificant, though miraculous part of the grandeur of creation, stardust that is alive. The Reverend Victoria Stafford wrote, "What if there were a universe, a cosmos, that began in shining blackness, and into it came billions and billions of stars, and near one of them a world, a blue-green world so beautiful that learned clergy could not even speak about it cogently. If such a universe existed and you noticed it, what would you do? What song would come out of your mouth?" So we invite you to take time in silence to be at one with each other and the cosmos. Let us consider with humility the wonder of our life and the wondrous grandeur of the cosmos. The James Webb Telescope gives us a view of the cosmos not seen before. So let us meditate on our place in this miraculous cosmos as we reflect on each of the images we're about to see.
Fasten your seatbelts as we begin a quick journey through the cosmos. I will be talking about distances in light years. Light travels at 186,000 miles per second. If you do the math, you'll see that's an enormous distance traveled in a year.
One second. I swear this works just yet. One second. What's this? There we go.
And we begin with Mother Earth.
Yeah.
Seen in this iconic photo known as Earthrise, and shot by one of our astronauts in a spacecraft in orbit around the moon. Just think of the billions of people on that little sphere. Think of the giant cities. None are visible. If there were no clouds, we might be able to see parts of continents. Feel small yet? Okay. Let's step up to our solar system now. Note the 4 tiny dots by the sun. We're in good company among the Lilliputians, but even Jupiter is small compared to our sun. And what happened to Pluto? Alas, it was downgraded to a dwarf planet by the experts.
There we go.
And just to emphasize size differences, the next picture shows the outline of the US inscribed in the center of a giant hexagonal-shaped storm at the North Pole of Saturn. There we are. This is a JWST photo of the Carina Nebula. This was labeled Cosmic Cliffs. It's an area of starbirth. Most nebulae are the material blown from stars that have exploded in a supernova. This nebula is about 8,500 light years from us in an arm of our Milky Way galaxy. This is a comparison of the pillars of the well-known pillars of creation images of Hubble and JWST. Notice that the JWST image is less dense. That is because of the infrared capability of JWST allows it to see through some of the dust in the image. This famous formation is another birthplace of new stars. It is 6,500 light years from us. That was Hubble on the left, and this is still Hubble on the left. Here is another comparison of Hubble and JWST images. This is the Southern Ring Nebula at 6,500 light years from us. This is the Crab Nebula. It was created by a supernova that was observed by Chinese astronomers in 1054 AD. At the center of this nebula is a pulsar, a rapidly spinning neutron star. And at last, the Milky Way, our galaxy, as we see it from the inside. Our galaxy is about 106,000 light years in diameter. All the previous images are from within our galaxy. The stone arch is located in Arches National Park in Utah. This is an artist's conception of our galaxy, showing our location in it. The Milky Way is identified as a barred spiral galaxy. Our astronomers have labored long to plot our galaxy from within. They have determined that it has two major arms and two minor arms. This is a photo of an actual barred spiral galaxy, which might resemble our galaxy. This is the cosmic reef, a formation in the Large Magellanic Cloud. The Large and Small Magellanic Clouds are disrupted by small galaxies outside, but close to our galaxy that may someday merge with our galaxy. These were named after Magellan, who noted these during his round the world trip. And this is M31, the Andromeda Galaxy. This is one of two or three galaxies that can be seen with the naked eye. Andromeda is the largest galaxy that is closest to us. It is about 200,000 light years in diameter. It is about 2.4 light years from us. Astronomers say that M31 is heading toward us and may reach our galaxy in about 5 billion years. Then the two galaxies will probably merge and form a giant elliptical galaxy. A telescope is a sort of time machine. The further a star galaxy is from us, the older the light is the light that we see from it. So if an astronomer on a planet in Andromeda were looking at Earth now, he or she would see Earth as it was 2.4 million years ago. This is the Cartwheel Galaxy. Astronomers think that an interaction with another galaxy may have set off star formation in the rim of this galaxy. Here's another comparison between Hubble and JWST, a galactic quartet image. This is a deep space image with lots of galaxies, but note the curved lines in the image. These are due to what is known as gravity magnification, or the Einstein effect. These lines are distorted images of galaxies far beyond the cluster of galaxies in the center. Einstein predicted this effect, and here is the proof. This image shows the interaction between M51 and a smaller galaxy. It seems that the smaller galaxy is stealing material from M51, but M51 may eventually absorb the smaller galaxy. Astronomers feel that our Milky Way galaxy grew by absorbing smaller nearby galaxies. This image is not from JWST, but the James Webb Space Telescope. We'll check it out. This shows the most distant galaxy ever imaged. Astronomers think it existed only 300 million years after the Big Bang, which is supposed to be about over 13 billion years ago. Some are saying the galaxy should not have existed this early, but you can be sure that the Big Bang theory isn't dead yet. Okay, transcending time and space, we have jumped back to Lynchburg, Virginia. Please unfasten your seatbelts and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, Dick. Wondrous is our cosmos. It is humbling to consider our place in such grandeur and to consider that we came from the stars. Why would we then, knowing our place in creation, living on our beautiful blue-green planet, focus on war and divisions when we are part of this awesome, mysterious creation? The Reverend Scott Taylor wrote, "Look, friends, to the sky, to the stars that dance like fireworks overhead, this tiny globe on which we travel. Look to the horizon, the tree line, the expanse of wide open fields, to this living, breathing earth that makes our living and breathing possible. Look at the faces that surround you and notice what a wonder it is that we don't have to walk this world alone. All of it is a miracle. All of it deserves our awe." Let us now rise in body or spirit as we share hymn 37, God Who Fills the Universe. extinguish our chalice. But unity, the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Just checking to see if y'all did that. Our final benediction comes from the words of Kendall Gibbons. There is finally only one thing required of us, that is to take life whole, the sunlight and shadows together, to live the life that is given us with courage and humor and truth. We have such a little moment out of the vastness of time for all our wondering and loving. Therefore, let there be no half-heartedness. Rather, let the soul be ardent in its pain, in its yearning, in its praise. Then shall peace enfold our days, and glory shall not fade from our lives. Blessed be. Thank you, Dick, and thank you for all those of you who are on Zoom. And now let's go enjoy some conversation and decorating the holiday tree. Thank you for being here.
We on
Thank
Zoom
you.
can stay and have a little coffee hour of our own. I think they just clicked off the microphone. Can everybody hear me? Oh, there we go. Good. Dick, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. What a wonderful service. And what amazing pictures.
It was an adventure. I don't know that Terry has ever done a service like this before. She certainly done service where she shared with the people, but we had our little technical problems. I was going to try to show the pictures, and I could do it as a host, but I couldn't do it as a co-host, right? So, but thank goodness we have David with his talent to do that, and he did an excellent job. So thank you, David.
Thank you, David. And thank you for giving us all a little bit of time to look at each picture. That was really nice. At first I thought something was wrong, and then I realized it wasn't wrong. It was an invitation to really move into the picture.
Yes,
I'm sure that Terry has never gone farther in a service than she went today. Dick, you took us farther than I've ever gone in a Sunday service. Way out to almost as far close to the beginning. It was amazing. Thank you very much. What a good way to start the theme of wonder.
Yes, it went very well, I thought, with wonder.
It did. Good morning, Jason from out in Michigan. Jason and
hey, how's it going?
Okay. So that was good.
Yeah, that was awesome. I was talking to the kids about the Hubble telescope, and good difference between that and the James Webb. And the Hubble telescope was only supposed to be, I guess we were only counting to use it for how long? Was it 10 or 15 years?
Yes, I think you're right.
And it's still been up there doing its thing.
Yeah, considering that it started out with a major problem. That was amazing.
Yeah.
They got up there and they could fix that problem, and it's done so well after that.
Wow.
They were,
Well, also wasn't I think it was the Opportunity rover that was only supposed to operate for 90 days, and it ended up like a decade or more.
yeah. or that little helicopter that they thought would maybe make a 1 or 2 trips. And I don't know how many it's made now. It's 20, 30 trips.
Yeah.
And it really is. Now everybody's going to be putting helicopters on Mars, I'll bet you. Since that was
Why
such
fly
a
a drone on Earth when you can do it on Mars? No.
it was they didn't know if they were going to be able to get enough lift because of the atmosphere is only like 1% on Mars, that they get enough lift, but they did a great job. So
Yeah.
That's amazing. Amazing.
yeah, now now the well, they're saying maybe the Big Bang theory is in question. The Big Bang theorists who have built their careers on that say, no, we just need to make some adjustments. And some other people are saying, well, you're seeing some almost full blown galaxies out there where there shouldn't be. At that time, 13.8 billion years ago was supposed to be the Big Bang, and then they're seeing like 300 and 400 million years after that. They say they shouldn't be there. So, but that's the way science operates. You got a problem. You go do some more investigation and try to build new theory on your facts.
Exactly. It's supposed to course correct, right?
And then, some Christians will say, well, God created the universe. Well, science has to stop at some point and say, beyond this point, maybe we can go to philosophy, and philosophy has to say, beyond this point, we have to go to spirituality and religion. So it's they all should be working together instead of being at each other's throats.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always had an issue with that. People that want to not incorporate them in a way, right? I mean, just looking at religion and religion wanting, some religion wanting to deny certain aspects or all aspects of science when we have definitive proof. And to me, it's like, well, if this universe was created, then physics is the basic language it was written in, and the more we understand about that and the interactions of it, then we're just understanding that.
Right.
We're not overriding or negating something else.
Sometimes science theories get so far out, it's like, what? It's like, I don't know if you folks know about the anthropic principle, which says that there's a lot of little constants. If they were just some tiny little increment difference, we wouldn't be here. And if there's one, you say, well, okay. But if there's half a dozen or more, then you have to say, And then, of course, the religions want to say, well, obviously somebody had to tweak the knobs to make it all come out. So we're here. And the scientists say, no, that doesn't work. And so then they come up with the multiverse theory, which says, there's almost an infinite number of galaxies or of universes out there. And we just happen to be in the lucky one that has life, and all the rest of them probably don't.
Yeah.
Which I think they've overstepped they're going into mysticism practically, because they have no proof of anything like that.
Yeah. What do you think about the whole argument about dark energy and dark matter?
Well, so far they've worked very hard to find either one, and they really can't, they see the effects, but they can't find what's really causing it. Is the dark matter some kind of a very strange particle or not? What is the dark energy? Well, if there is a creator, maybe there's something going on there that's related to the spiritual part of the universe. We're not.
Well, dark matter's supposed to be balanced in the books, right? Because in theory, based on our assumptions on the expansion of the universe, it should have been expanding at a faster rate, right? So dark matter is how we balance the books and say there must be some sort of invisible, intangible matter that exerts a gravitational force, which is slowing the expansion of the universe, right? So we're trying to find an answer to that instead of continuing to investigate to see what's there, right? And
also
find it whether it
I
makes
believe
sense or not.
in the like the Milky Way, the way the Milky Way is spinning and the way all of the parts spin and the speeds that they're spinning at shouldn't be possible with what we can with what we can see. So there has to be something else that is maneuvering things to get to what we see, what we see with what we think is with what we think given our current ideas about how things work. So either what we see is not correct, or what we see or what we think things, the way things really are incorrect. And so we have to figure out, what exactly it is. And so it's like, yeah, this is something we can't explain.
Yes.
Is basically what.
Yes, yeah, they need to say at some point, beyond this, we can't explain it, or it's a mystery.
It's a mystery, right? I mean, I think that's and when you think of the great scientists, so many of them from Isaac Newton on and Einstein himself really were mystics, which points to the point at which we don't know and we keep wondering and we keep questioning, and our role in religion is to just honor the question so much and to teach our children to keep questioning all through life. So it's really, it's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, it's really just fine, but there is a great mystery we don't